To call this meeting of the Brick Township Council to order. Madam Clerk?
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on January 7, 2020. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspapers and posted on public bulletin boards.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thanks for participating in tonight's Township Council meeting. The COVID-19 pandemic prevents us from meeting in the traditional way, but we have adjusted accordingly so that we can continue to conduct the business of the Township and serve our residents. This meeting is available through the Zoom application, where you can see and hear tonight's meeting and participate during all public comment periods as you would if we were all together in person. To ask a question or comment, please click on your device and a bar will appear on the bottom of your screen. One of the icons posted there is a Raise Your Hand button. Click that to indicate that you have a question. We can see that on our end and we'll call on people one at a time. Questions and comments are also welcome by email. The address is publicmeetingquestions@bricktownship.net. We are checking that email throughout the meeting and will read those questions into the minutes and respond accordingly. Roll call.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Here.
Councilman Minikino.
Here.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilman Mumolo.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Here.
Vice President Halloran.
Here.
President Crate.
Here. This time we'll have a salute to the flag and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can I get a motion and second to approve the minutes of the June 9th meeting?
Motion, Pontorero. Second, Halloran.
Thank you. Roll call?
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Minikino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we are on to the consent agenda. Madam Clerk?
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. Resolution 4-1.
Authorize cancellation of grant appropriation reserves and receivables.
This resolution authorizes the cancellation of grant-appropriated reserves and receivables in programs where the funds cannot be spent within the contract period, specifically 2 grants from 2018 and 2 from 2019. Resolution 4-2.
Authorize receipt of bids Pinewood Park parking lot improvements.
This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for Pinewood parking lot improvements. This project includes resurfacing of the existing parking lot as well as landscaping, fencing, lighting, and stormwater management. This project was approved in the 2020 capital budget. Resolution 4-3.
Authorize receipt of bids snow removal services.
This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for snow removal services. The current 3-year contract expires on September 30th, 2020. To date, the Township has encumbered approximately $377,000. The contract is broken down into 9 categories based on varying pieces of equipment as needed to provide snow removal throughout Brick Township. Award will be made to a primary contractor offering the lowest price per hour in each category. Secondary contracts will be awarded to all other bidders who agree to the low bidders' proposal rates. Resolution 4-4.
Authorize receipt of bids professional medical services.
This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for professional medical services. The current 1-year contract will expire on September 10th, 2020. This RFP is to provide pre-employment physicals, fit-for-duty testing for new and existing employees at the provider's facility and at designated Township sites. To date, we have spent approximately $40,200 for the contract. Resolution 4-5.
Authorize receipt of bids vehicle repair services.
This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for vehicle repair services for various repairs to Township vehicles to be done on an as-needed basis. This is time and material contract. Some repairs included in this bid are time-consuming and/or require specialized equipment and training. The current contract is awarded to Larson Ford, and to date, The Township has encumbered approximately $17,000. The current 2-year contract will expire on September 12, 2020. Resolution 46.
Authorize receipt of bids, bamboo removal services.
This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for bamboo removal services. There is bamboo growing on and through the undeveloped open space property in between Cleveland and National Avenues. Bamboo is specifically listed as an invasive plant in the Township's ordinance. While the origin of the bamboo is unknown, the plant has spread not only onto our property, but through our property onto adjoining residences. In response to complaints from adjoining residents that the bamboo was coming from our property onto theirs, the Division of Parks has been working to remove the bamboo. Unfortunately, this proved to be a task greater than the Parks Division could manage, and assistance from an outside contractor specializing in the treatment of bamboo is needed. Resolution 47.
Authorize receipt of bids, purchase and delivery of 2 33 cubic yard automated refuge collection vehicles.
This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for the purchase and delivery of 2 33 cubic yard automated refuse collection vehicles as approved in the 2020 capital budget. Resolution 48.
Authorize receipt of bids, purchase and delivery of 1 single axle dump truck.
This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for the purchase and delivery of a single axle dump truck as approved in the 2020 capital budget. Resolution 49.
Authorize award of bid, purchase and delivery of flood control valves.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. This would authorize the award of bid to WAPRO Incorporated from Chicago, Illinois, for our purchase and delivery of flood control valves. As a lot of you know, depending on where you live, we have a really bad flooding problem here in town, and it's not from rain that comes from above, it's actually water that comes from below. So anytime high tides are 1.5 feet high, the water actually comes through our system, and the bay water comes out onto, and lagoon water comes out onto the streets through the storm drains. So instead of the storm drains taking the water off the street, the bay water at the high tides is coming up through the storm drains and floods our neighborhoods. If you live in the northern part of town or western part of town, you don't experience it, obviously, but those on the east and on the water experience it depending on where they live, and how bad it is what their elevation is of their properties. So we wanted to fund, we have $200,000 in order to spend on these control valves. What they do is they allow a certain amount of water to escape. So it could be a high tide, and if it's a high tide, it's super high tide above the pipe, it'll actually close down and not allow water to go back to the pipe and up to the street. And then when it goes to a low tide, it obviously opens up so that if it's raining, the water can get out. So it's a really cool thing that hopefully will help with our flooding problems. ACT Engineers is who we have retained to help us out with our flooding problems. They did 4 presentations for 4 neighborhoods, and this was their one of their #1 things as far as resolving the flooding issues we have throughout 13 different neighborhoods here in town. It's a 2-year contract. It starts on July 15th and expires on July 14th of 2022, and it's a unit price, so they're all different prices depending on the size of the pipe, but the bid doesn't exceed $200,000 for the contract period. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 410.
Authorize award of bid, janitorial services.
This resolution authorizes the award of bid for janitorial services to ACB Services, Inc., Cream Ridge, at a rate of $88,268 per year. This is a 2-year contract commencing August 1st, 2020, and ending July 31st, 2022. There are 21 specific areas to be cleaned under this contract. Bid notices were provided to 44 prospective bidders from our bidders list, and 9 picked up bid packages. 3 bids were received with annual rates ranging from $88,268 to $165,470.78, with ACB Services being the lowest responsible bidder. The Township has spent approximately $84,000 per year during the previous contract. Resolution 411.
Authorize award of bid, general athletic equipment and supplies.
This resolution authorizes the award of bid for general athletic equipment and supplies to the following vendors: BSN Sports Dallas, Texas; Performance Health Supply, Amherst, New York; Riddle North Ridgeville, Ohio, SNS Worldwide, Colchester, Connecticut, Stadium System, Canaan, Connecticut, and Stan's Sports Center, Hoboken, New Jersey. This is a unit price bid with funds being certified prior to each order. This is a one-year contract commencing July 15, 2020, and ending on July 14, 2021. Resolution 412.
Authorize award of contract administration of affordable housing program.
This resolution authorizes the award of contract for the administration of the Township's affordable housing program to Homes Now, Inc. The Township has a diverse program that provides affordable housing units to low and moderate income households within the community. Homes Now has been serving as the Township's administrative agent for that program for many years. Some of the duties and responsibilities include affirmative marketing, household certification, affordability controls, resale and rental, processing requests for unit owners, and identifying new locations for affordable housing units in both the scattered site model and designated housing for congregate sites as needed for seniors, people with disabilities, and veterans. Resolution 413.
Authorize award of contract through Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Cooperative Pricing System, purchase and delivery of backhoe loader.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract for the purchase and delivery of a backhoe loader to Foley Incorporated Piscataway in the amount of $114,918.28. This contract is facilitated through a cooperative purchasing agreement with the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Cooperative Pricing System. This equipment was funded as part of the 2020 capital budget. Resolution 414.
Authorize award of contract through Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Cooperative Pricing System, Toro Equipment.
This resolution authorizes an award of contract for Toro equipment to Turf Equipment and Supply Company, Jessup, Maryland, in the total amount of $78,711.74 for the purchase and delivery of 2 Toro Grandmasters and 1 Sandpro 3040. This contract is facilitated through a cooperative purchasing agreement with the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Cooperative Pricing System. This equipment was funded as part of the 2020 capital budget. Resolution 415.
Authorize award of negotiated contract beer and wine garden concession.
This resolution authorizes the award of contract for the beer and wine garden concession at Summerfest and Fall Fest to ZMRA LLC, also known as Maniloking Road Ale House, in the amount of $6,000. The Township advertised for bids twice and received no responses. The business administrator was authorized to negotiate, and Maniloking Road Ale House was the higher of the 2 bids received during the negotiation process. Resolution 416.
Authorize award of negotiated contract Summerfest food truck vendors.
This resolution authorizes the award of contract in the remaining food truck categories for Summerfest to the Empanada Dish and Tony's Italian Sausage. Each vendor bid $750. Previous bids were received for the other food categories. Resolution 417.
Authorize closeout change order number 1, Bolin Field Improvement.
This resolution authorizes change order number 1 and closeout in the contract with Down to Earth Landscaping for the Bolin Field Improvement Project. The change order decreases the contract by $21,765 as a result of the final as-built quantities. Resolution 418.
Authorize acceptance of donation various computer equipment.
This resolution authorizes the acceptance of various computer equipment from the Transportation Security Administration, which the Township's IT department can put to good use. Resolution 419.
Support the County of Ocean for open space acquisitions.
This resolution supports the County of Ocean's initiative to acquire 3 parcels in the Township for open space. Those properties are Block 86, Lot 1, which is .25 acres, Block 86, Lot 2, which is 1.7 acres, and Block 86, Lot 4, which is 6.25 acres. Resolution 420.
Authorize special events permit Battle at the Beach event.
This resolution authorizes a special event permit for the Battle at the Beach lacrosse event on July 21st and 22nd from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Drum Point Sports Complex. Resolution 421, tax collector. Ms. Burke?
Thank you. 21A is 100% DAV refund and cancel taxes at Block 340, Lot 62, in the amount of $1,688.85, which is a one-year deduction. 21B are tax overpayments. For 2017, there is one, Block 577, Lot 30.01, in the amount of $1,734.08. 21C is exempt property. Cancel taxes for Block 1428, Lot 2, due to the fact that the property has been acquired by the Township of Brick.
Thank you. That ends our consent agenda. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion Zapsik.
Menachino, second.
Thank you. Open to council? Closed council, open to public for questions on the resolutions only. Seeing none, closed public, roll call?
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumalo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes, thank you. Resolution 422, bill resolutions, computer 2020.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $1,653,409.56.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion, Halloran.
Second, Pontorero.
Thank you. Open to council? Closed council, open to public for questions on the computer resolution. Hearing none, closed public, roll call?
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Abstain, Teamsters, yes to the rest.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Abstain CME, yes to the rest.
Councilman Mumalo.
Abstain, Meridian Occupational Health, yes to the rest.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution 423, bill resolution manual 2020.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,728,231.98.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and second?
Menachino, motion. Second, Halloran.
Thank you. Open to council? Closed council, open to public on questions on this resolution only. Closed public, roll call?
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Abstain CME, yes to the rest.
Councilman Mumalo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution 5-1, ordinances on second reading.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the acceptance of the donation of property known as Block 210.35, Lot 19, for no consideration.
Thank you. The Council's Land Use Committee is recommending the Township accept the donation of Block 210.35, Lot 19 on Capri Drive, which is off Bay Harbor Boulevard. The property is all wetlands and will benefit the Township CRS rating. Part of the property is in the flood hazard area. The more open space and land we preserve in the flood hazard area, the more points the Township earns. CRS points ultimately provide flood insurance discounts. This parcel is not generating tax revenue as it's a non-buildable lot. Can I get a motion and second?
Mumalo motion.
Second, Halloran.
Second. There you go.
Open to council? Closed council, open to public on this ordinance only. Closed public, roll call?
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumalo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution 5-2, ordinance on second reading?
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 245-33 of the Township Code entitled Fences.
This ordinance comes as a recommendation from the Council's Land Use Committee to clarify the Township's ordinance specific to living fence lines. An ordinance was adopted in 2010 that prohibits vegetation or fences within 200 feet of a body of water higher than 4 feet. As a result, if someone wants to plant even one tree, it's an issue. The Township Zoning Officer requested the committee revisit the ordinance. The proposed ordinance requires a 15-foot setback requirement for a living fence for homes that front on a body of water. The 15 feet proposed is the rear yard setback for anything, and therefore, this is consistent with the building setbacks along the water, whether it's a pool, house, or shed. This makes the regulations consistent and simple to interpret, both from a property owner perspective as well as enforcement. Can I get a motion and second?
Mumolo motion.
Menachino, second.
Thank you. Open to council? Closed council, open to public on this ordinance only. Closed public, roll call.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crete.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we are on to public comments.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. Ms. Bergen? Anyone for public comment? This is public comment time. If there's anyone that would like to make a public comment, this is the time to raise your hand. Okay. Seeing none and no questions emailed in, I'll close public and open to our council comments. Ms. Bergen?
I have no additional comments. Thank you for offering.
Yes. Mayor?
Yes, thank you. First off, I want to say congratulations to the schools. Both high schools did a great in-person graduation. I was able to attend the A through MCs over at Brick Memorial, and then I was able to also attend the, I think it was L's through Z over at Brick Township High School. There were each high school did a 4 and a 7, so I did 4 o'clock over at Brick Memorial and 7 over at Brick Township. And they were just well done. Great speeches by the, the valedictorians, the salutatorians, as well as the student government presidents, turning the tassel. And overall, just a fantastic thing to be able to see people graduate in person. Although everybody was 6 feet apart. Everybody was wearing masks. So it was still different, but at least somewhat normal in that they were able to be there in person out on the football fields for one last time. So congratulations. Also, the schools have a hard road in front of them as far as opening. People have been contacting me just as mayor of the town, and I usually either forward over the emails or give them the phone numbers for the school, for the Board of Education about how to reopen. So it's probably about 50-50 right now. Half the people say it's got to be in person, it's got to be in person, and about the other 50% of the people are saying, no way can we go back in person, it's got to be virtual. So if they choose one or the other of those, you're going to have, half or so of the people upset. So if you choose to go back in person, the people who want to do virtual will be upset. And obviously if there's some type of hybrid between the two, everybody's going to be mad because they're not getting everything they want. So I know the Board of Education and the superintendent is working on that. As everybody probably knows, we just got a new superintendent. And when I say just, it was back in March, but it was 12 days before we have been locked in, we're officially locked into our houses back there on March 14th. So he started on March 1st. So he was not even here for 2 weeks and was already as far as into that virtual schooling. So I know that he's working on it, and there's a committee that is hoping to figure out what exactly to do. So you don't need to contact me with your ideas. You can contact directly to the superintendent or the Board of Education because they're the ones who make those decisions. It doesn't come from the mayor or the town council. I just also wanted to say we have our final friendlies coming up. And the final friendlies, what that is one last chance for the high school kids to be able to play their spring sports. So spring sports also were supposed to start right around March 18th, I think, and obviously we're unable to do so. So the seniors are not going to be able to ever play high school sports again. Some may go on to play in college. Most likely will not. So therefore, they kind of played their last game last year as juniors. So what we wanted to do is give them one last chance of to be able to perform in their spring sports, and we're doing that in July. But what we do need to happen, if you're a baseball player, you're already taken care of, because I know both teams have at least 30 players that have signed up. But we do not have as many signed up for softball, lacrosse, tennis. So lacrosse is girls lacrosse as well as boys lacrosse. And right now we don't have enough players. So if you can please go to our recreation site at bricktownship.net, and you go on as if you're going to register for one of the recreation programs. There's obviously no charge or anything, but we need the registrations in advance. You can't just show up and play because it might be canceled if we don't have enough players. But also, we're going to have school athletic directors are going to verify that the people who have signed up are actually players. They're not just random people who are signing up to play boys lacrosse suddenly on out of the blue. So on July 29th, 6 o'clock is softball, and so what it is basically it's not Brick Memorial versus Brick Township, because it has nothing to do with the schools, because the NJSIAA would not allow that. So it's really the kind of the Mustangs and Dragons, because that's what we call those, each section of town. So 6 o'clock is softball. That's over at our Drum Point Sports Complex for those who want to go and watch. 7 o'clock is lacrosse. So lacrosse is the girls' lacrosse is first, and that's also at the Drum Point Sports Complex. Then at 8 o'clock is boys' lacrosse, and then on Thursday the 30th is tennis, and that is right here at Town Hall, at the courts right here at Town Hall. And then on Friday the 31st, and that's at 6 o'clock if I didn't say that, and Friday the 31st at 6 o'clock is baseball. And that's over at Brick American Little League, which is the one that is on Lanes Mill Road, right across from Brick Memorial High School. It's a brand-new baseball field. There's a brand-new lacrosse field and a brand-new softball field that are all being used basically for the first time, definitely for the first time by these high school players. So hopefully the whole town can come out and support both teams. You don't have to root for one team or the other. Just support kids getting a last chance to play their last game. But if you are a player, please sign up. And you don't necessarily need to be a senior. You can be a freshman. Freshman softball player, freshman lacrosse player. You're just going to verify that you're actually on the school team in order to play for this during these final friendlies, even though it has nothing to do with the schools. And lastly, I want to just give a couple. So everybody's going through a lot of hard times. Right here in Town Hall we have as well with our township employees and all, and everybody's really stepped up to the plate to really get us through these things. So we've had township planners who are asking, who are up here at the information booth being the information person, and GIS experts up there and things like that. But I wanted to really thank DPW. So DPW, everybody knows our garbage is still being picked up and our recycling is still being picked up. But what you probably don't realize, or though you might, is that there's a lot more of it because everybody's home and eating home more often, and drinking beverages or whatever you have in the recycling more often, so they're working almost twice as hard because of the amount of things that are being thrown away. In addition, our Parks Department, which is part of our DPW, everybody's cleaning up their backyards, plus we've had all these crazy storms knocking down branches, and it's always in a different part of town. So the brush collection was a little bit delayed, but we're getting to everything. But again, it's everybody's cleaning their yards because they're spending so much time at home. So it is, their workload has increased dramatically. So you might see some weeds where you normally don't see weeds at some of our parks. And that's because they're out there doing this, doing the brush pickups and all different types of extra work that people aren't really thinking about. Our road department, road crew is out there doing, filling potholes because more people are walking their dogs or they're taking up running. A lot of people took up biking. You can't buy a bike anywhere, by the way. So those potholes, people are noticing more. So now there's more. There's the same amount of potholes, but people are actually calling them in. JCP&L is getting more calls because there's more. There's street lights out, so it's just a lot. It's a lot of work. JCP&L isn't us, but our sign department's been making signs. At one point you had to wear. You have to wear masks to certain things, and then the parks are closed. The parks are open. The parks are closed again. All these things are signs, and just a lot of extra work. So thank you to the DPW department for everything that you're doing. And then another spot, I'll mention other people as we go along in other council meetings in the future. The other one I wanted to highlight is our beaches, our beach crew. Everybody out there, please be kind. So what's happening is everybody's going to the beach because really, especially in the months of May and June, you had no other option. There's no Great Adventure. There's no Disney World. There was no tubing down the Delaware River. There was no Great Adventure, if I said that already. Seaside, there's no boardwalk, rides, things like that. So everybody's going to the beach. That's the thing. So our season badges are through the roof. We have limited our daily badges, as everybody knows. So it's not daily people that are going to the beach. It's our season badge holders. Unfortunately, depending on when the high tide is, when there's a high tide, there's less beach. So there's less sand, so less room to sit on, and everybody has to be 6 feet apart. So we have our Donovan Brown, who's our head lifeguard out there and just in charge of beaches. He's out there trying to enforce social distancing, and he's got to make the call when it's time to close the beaches because he can't fit anybody on safely with the social distancing that's in effect. And that obviously creates ire because people. Sometimes the nixles weren't going out. They are going out, so we got that repaired. So everybody's getting the nixles, but people are unhappy when they get to the beach. There's nothing we can do. We have to do the social distancing. As you heard over the weekend, you might have heard Long Branch had some problems, and the governor's thinking about shutting the Long Branch beaches down because there was no social distancing. We don't want to see that happen. But take a look at the tides. Take a look at. There's different spots. MagicSeaweed.com is one. You can take a look at the tides, and when you see it's a low tide, you know there's going to be more room. So if you see there's going to be a low tide and you want to go to the beach that day, and the low tide is at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., you're going to have to get there early because there's not as much sand. There's not as much beach. So if you really have a desire to be there on a certain day, take a look at the tide charts, and then also know when the low tide comes at 1:24 or whatever time that was yesterday. Low tide is 1:24 p.m. Hey, the beaches are going to be back open. So now I know they were closed at 10:15 in the morning. That's because the high tide was there. Now I can show up at 1:24 or a little bit earlier. Obviously, as the tide's coming in, and there's more room, and the beaches will be open again. So take a look at the tide charts. But thank you for. So usually Donovan's worried about saving people's lives and making sure all of his lifeguards are trained and making sure everything's running smoothly, no injuries and no lost children and all that. And he's still doing all that, but in addition to that, now he's got to be the social distance police, and he's the guy who's taking the brunt of people yelling and screaming about the beaches being closed. Please be kind. That we're trying to all get through this. We're not closing the beach just because you showed up and your family wants to go to the beach and you're not letting me on. We're not letting anybody on. When the beaches have too many people, there's just not enough room to socially distance, and we can't risk having them closed down by the governor. So everybody, please be kind out there, and thank you again to the DPW, to the beaches, to the Recreation Department, beach section, and I'll be mentioning other sections of Town Hall and everything else as time goes on here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Starkey.
Scott Keeley.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
That's okay. You can't see me.
I cannot.
Just nice to be on the phone tonight. Nice hearing everyone's voice. I have nothing else to say. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Madam Clerk?
Nothing, thank you.
Madam Secretary?
Nothing, thank you.
Councilwoman Zapsik?
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to announce that the Brick Children's Community Theater is doing their summer show. They normally do it at the Strand in Lakewood, but this year it's going to be Theater in the Park at Wynwood Beach. It's going to be on July 30th, 31st, and August 1st. Those are Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 8 p.m. With Sunday as a rain date. Now what they're going to do is they're actually going to set up group sites in front of the band shell. Each site is 4 by 8 feet and holds up to 5 people. So if 10 people in your party are going to need 2 sites. And all the sites are going to be distance about 8 feet apart. For everyone's safety, people are asked to wear a mask when they are not sitting in their particular site. You will need to bring a blanket or chairs to sit on. Beach chairs are encouraged so that the people behind you can see. And if you need to sit in a full-height chair, they ask that you consider sitting a little further back so that everybody can see. The field is going to open to the audience at 7 o'clock, and everybody must have a ticket to attend. You can purchase tickets at bcct.booktix.com, and there will be absolutely no tickets sold at the beach. And I think I probably forgot to tell you the most important thing, which is the name of the show. It is Disney's Moana Jr. So again, it's our very own Brick Children's Community Theater, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, July 30th, 31st, and August 1st. And go to their website if you would like to purchase tickets. It is sure to be a great family night out. And that's all I have this evening, other than everyone, please be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Menachino.
Thank you. No, I have no comments this evening. Thank you again.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Councilman Mumolo.
Thank you. Congratulations to all the graduates, and that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pontorero.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to say congratulations to all of our seniors who graduated, and just a follow-up as to the beaches. If you're having problems getting onto the beach, consider going later in the day. It tends to clear out around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you think that all those people who went on the beach at 8 in the morning can make it past 2 or 3, you're wrong. They're usually clearing out. So anybody, especially with young kids, consider going later in the day. You may be surprised that you can find room at that point in time. Apart from that, everyone have a great night.
Thank you. Vice President Halloran.
No comments this evening. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. The only comment that I have is I encourage everyone to log on to our gotobatforvets.org website to check out how you can get involved with helping us encourage the VA to consider Brick as the next site for the new VA clinic. If you're on Facebook, you can go to Bat for Vets on Facebook as well as on Instagram. Check out those pages and see how you can help out and join the Go to Bat for Vets challenge. And I have nothing else this evening. Our next scheduled meeting will take place on Tuesday, July 28th at 7 p.m. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Yeah.
Motion. No motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I never know how to end this. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Is that Paul? Motion? And then Art. Thank you.